The monetary system is at the core of the economic system that we know today. Almost all transactions are based on exchange of money. So, what is money? When was it invented? And who invented money? The history of money is always fascinating and goes back thousands of years, from the early days of bartering to the first metal coins and eventually the first banknote that was printed in France in the 17th century. Money has always had an important impact on the way we function as a society. The future of money is evolving in real time as we're living in the internet era. The emergence of digital money and cryptocurrencies are transforming both our economy and how people view, understand, and transact money. It is impossible to talk about the future of money without first talking about Bitcoin and the technology in which it is built on, known as blockchain. In a research paper introducing the digital currency, Bitcoin is defined as a new electronic cash system that's fully peer-to-peer with no trusted third party. To enlighten us further on the future of money, we have invited two speakers today. Our first speaker is Ross Stevenson. Ross is the Community and Education Lead for LUNO Malaysia, where he oversees the education outreach programs in Malaysia to raise awareness and educate more people about crypto. Our second speaker is Andrew Shin, also known as BitAndrew in the cryptocurrency space. Andrew is the founder of Crypto Asia and NFT Valley that focus on cryptocurrency education and the launch of new NFT collections. He is an early crypto adopter and investor since 2017. At 2020, he started to be involved in the NFT and Metaverse industry. His 6x6 virtual land estate in Sandbox Metaverse is probably the largest plot owned by a Malaysian. So let's take a glimpse of the future and discover more about the future of money. All right, we have here the very animated Ross. I absolutely love his hair. But what's even more amazing is his passion and knowledge in the crypto world as well.
Exactly.
And so it's so good to have you here to talk about the future of money, which inevitably is taking place right now, a revolution in terms of the money world.
Absolutely.
And so perhaps, you can enlighten us further about the cryptocurrency world and what some of our viewers should know in the coming years.
All right, thank you so much, Julie, for the introduction. Indeed, the future is very bright and very exciting. So let's get right into it. But before I cover any juicy details, I need to make something very clear. I'm not a financial advisor, right? I'm just Ross from LUNO Malaysia. I'm the community and education lead. So my role is to educate people, to help them understand crypto. So let's get right to it. The evolution of finance. We started with the barter trade system. That was the first system of finance that humans created. It was useful because we didn't have to carry money around, but it had its disadvantages. You cannot hold chicken eggs and vegetables for a long time. It'll go rotten. Then we created a new system using coins, right? Precious metals like gold, silver, these things are very precious because they're rare, they're scarce, and they have value. But we went one step even further. We created paper money. Now, if you notice a trend, as our evolution of finance progresses, it becomes more and more efficient, more and more faster, more and more easier to use. And you know what? We went one step even further. We went all the way to plastic, right? We got credit cards. Now you can just tap and pay. Just in 1-2 seconds, you're done. You can do a transaction with a piece of plastic. We went one step even further. We've got e-wallets, right? Nowadays, when you go shopping, you see so many QR codes, you don't know which one to scan. Evolution of finance has continued to progress and finance has become easier and easier and easier and faster. Finally, Julie, I believe we've come to the next step in the evolution of finance. At LUNO, we believe the next step is fulfilled by cryptocurrencies. In particular, when I explain cryptocurrencies, I like to talk about Bitcoin because Bitcoin was the first and the most popular. Now, you said you've heard of Bitcoin, but for the viewers that are watching, let me define what is Bitcoin. Firstly, the word digital. Bitcoin is not physical. You can't hold it, you can't see it.
Yeah.
It's something that exists online. Now, before we go to the second word, which is a bit trickier, let's look at the third word, currency. You use money, I use money, we all use it every day. It is a system of exchange, right? You have something I want, I pay you ringgit, you give me that something. Now, the currency that's issued by a country, such as Malaysia, we issue ringgit Malaysia, that's known as fiat currency, right? Now, what's interesting is that fiat currency is issued by the government. right? So the government controls the supply. In the year 2008, in America, there was a financial crisis.
Yeah.
And so what happened was there was this person, or perhaps even a group of people, we don't know for sure, they called themselves Satoshi Nakamoto, and they created Bitcoin. They meant Bitcoin to be a system of digital currency that doesn't require a bank. Now, you might be wondering, all our lives, banks control currency. How can you create a currency that's not controlled by a bank? That's the big question. And that brings us to the second most important word, decentralized. Julie, I think if everybody understands this word decentralized, you will understand the whole philosophy behind cryptocurrency. Now, because this is a complex word, the easiest way that I found to explain it is using a real-life game example. Now, in the game of Monopoly, everybody is a player, but one player is special. They control all the money. What do you call that person?
The banker.
The banker, exactly. And similarly, in real life, we have the central bank of a country which controls the inflow and outflow of currency. That happens in Monopoly, right? The one banker controls everything. Now, on one hand, it's a good thing because you know who to go through when you need money and when you need to buy and sell and rent property. Now, let's contrast that with something that's decentralized. You pointed out a very interesting word, peer-to-peer. Chess is played by how many players?
Just two.
Two players, and you don't have a referee or a judge watching a game. In fact, between me and you, I'm watching you play, you're watching me play, and we're watching each other's moves on the chessboard. That's why I use this as an example for decentralized. There's no judge, there's no banker, there's no central authority watching the game. In fact, I'm just watching you, you're watching me, and if you play professional chess, we even write down the moves, right? Every single move that you make is recorded on my paper. And so chess is an example of a decentralized system. The only reason why this is possible for Bitcoin and all other cryptocurrencies is thanks to this new word, the blockchain. Now, have you heard of this word blockchain before?
Yeah.
What do you think it means?
Well, it's the system that enables cryptocurrency to happen.
Absolutely. You know, you could do my job, Julie. You're incredible at this.
Really?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use Legos to explain a bit about the blockchain, right? Think of blockchain as a type of technology, right? It is a record of all transactions. So if you have a book of transactions and you record the transaction 1, transaction 2, transaction 3, and if that record is accurate and permanent, then you can trust it. That record becomes valid. Once you have made a transaction and it is confirmed on the blockchain, you can't change it. You can't say, oh, sorry, undo. You can't do that. Secondly, it's also decentralized. You see, the blockchain isn't controlled by a single government, a single country, or a single company. It is spread out across the whole world. If you have a computer, you can connect to the blockchain. I can connect to the blockchain. We all can connect to it together and we can all process transactions on the blockchain. You see, banks today, they control what they control, right? And they don't reveal their information publicly to everyone. But on the Bitcoin blockchain, you can see every single transaction that has ever happened from the beginning of Bitcoin until today. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, it's really quite something.
But couldn't I be anonymous and they wouldn't know that
Ooh.
I'm doing what I'm doing?
That's a very good point. In fact, what we use is that we use the word pseudo-anonymous. So when you transact on the Bitcoin blockchain, you have an address. It doesn't show us your name like Julie or Ross, right? It'll be a random collection of letters and numbers. However, because I can track everything and you can't change it, it's immutable, I can see it online, means I can see where the Bitcoin is going from account to account. I may not see your name, but I'll be able to track it. So a word that we use is pseudo-anonymous. Now, things can get a bit complicated here. There are words like cryptocurrency, NFTs, blockchain. So I'm going to use a very simple analogy to explain all of that together. Let's start with the engine. Now, as I said earlier, blockchain is a type of technology and you can build on top of it. So you can program applications on the blockchain. And you can even program things like smart contracts, right? Which help you create cryptocurrencies. And now let's look at the second application, NFTs. Remember I said a car key is something that's unique. Your car key opens your car, my car key opens my car. And NFT, or the full form, is non-fungible tokens. Everybody talks about it in relation to pictures because the picture of the Mona Lisa is very unique. There are no two Mona Lisas in the world. It's a unique token that is located on the Ethereum blockchain or other blockchains as well which support it. Now we have a very interesting word, CBDC. Have you come across this term before?
It's a central bank digital currency, right?
Absolutely right. You are an A-star student, Julie. You know all the right answers. Oh, thank you very much as well. Now, central bank, they've taken fiat currencies. Remember, fiat is controlled by the bank and they've digitalized it. So imagine today we use our physical ringgit notes. What if Bank Negara said, hey guys, we're going to abolish physical notes, we're going to change it into digital ringgit. Now, some of them will be based on blockchain. Some of them may choose not to base on blockchain. So that's an option up to the CBDC.
But it's still central bank control.
Absolutely right. So that's the difference. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized.
Well, as long as there's a market for all and there are its use cases and advantages, then they can all sort of happen concurrently, right?
You're absolutely right. I would love to see a future where we can all get along together and everybody can party, because I think there's more than enough space. Remember, all of this is happening where? Online. It's practically limitless. They're all very new. They're all learning from each other. They all have their advantages and also their disadvantages. So that's something we need to keep in mind. Now, before we go there further, we want to also talk about regulations. Firstly, let's talk about Bank Negara Malaysia, right? The Central Bank of Malaysia have a guideline regarding the anti-money laundering and counter-financing of terrorism of digital currencies. One of the things that we do, and at LUNO, we obey these guidelines, we do something called KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer. We want to make sure that we know who our customers are. That makes it a lot safer to use our platforms. Secondly, and most importantly, is the Securities Commission. Now, the Securities Commission, they help to regulate all the licensed investment platforms in Malaysia. Why? Because there are so many scams out there. And I'm happy to say that LUNO was the first crypto exchange to get licensed by the SC. Now, a very important point for our Muslim viewers, right? If you're Muslim, I'm very happy to say the Sharia Advisory Council of the SC have declared that digital currencies are permissible for investment and trading purposes on licensed and regulated digital currency exchanges. We want to make cryptocurrency a safe space for everyone to invest in. And in order to do that, we do need regulations. And I believe that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.
Very nice. Thank you so much for enlightening us, especially for newcomers who are a bit hesitant about investing in cryptocurrency. So I think this is the right step forward. Education, number
Absolutely.
one. And I think that answers a lot of preliminary questions that newbies have in mind. Security, whether it's legal,
Yep,
always look at safe and secure platforms like LUNO as well. So thank you so much. And very
pleasure.
interesting, because I'd like to bring back the other speaker to have a more in-depth chat about the opportunities as well as the challenges in regards to cryptocurrency as part of the future of money. What does it mean for governments and how will it impact society at large? So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back very shortly.
People are connecting and communicating among themselves. What they tend to create is value. Right? So with blockchain technology, in this case our Silo blockchain technology, that is a scratch-built technology, we want to help all these participants, people from the network, is to help to protect that value with the inbuilt encryption characteristics that we have in our technology.
The benefits for blockchain is that fundamentally it's a ledger system, but it's an immutable ledger system where each block created cannot be changed as the blockchain increases. So it's a way to improve security and also prevent tampering of record.
That's why the data transparency is very important, okay? And we will use the blockchain technology to help them to keep track the data to make sure the data is more, the transaction is more transparency. We know that blockchain enable the token, and especially like Bitcoin, okay, for transaction, the bill transaction. But because of people believe that the transaction can be more transparent, okay, more reliable, okay. So that's why a lot of people using Bitcoin as a cash, okay, to do the payment transaction.
All right, I have here with me Andrew, who is an early crypto investor and an NFT collector. We're talking about blockchain, we're talking about cryptocurrency, we're talking about NFTs. Now, this is, I believe, the future of money, or at least some part of it. Perhaps you can enlighten us further on how it all began and how does it contribute to the future of money?
Thanks, Julie, for the introduction. Today, our topic is about the future of money. Firstly, we need to explore what is money.
That's right.
Throughout the centuries, a lot of people have different definition about money. For me, myself, I think money equals to labor times time. So how much labor we put in every day times time is equals to our value, or I would say is economic energy. So generally, there's 6 substance of money to be defined as good money, which is money should be a medium of the exchange. Means we can exchange anytime that we want.
It has to be agreed upon by everyone.
Yes, and it need to be a unit of account. Means
right.
each transaction that you spend is actually recorded.
And it must be measurable.
Yes.
Right.
Portable, it need to be easy to bring around. It need to be durable, not easily destroyed by anything. Divisible. Whatever things that you buy from me, for example, I can change the balance for you.
Of course, yeah.
And it need to be fungible. Your unit of money is same value as my unit of money. So I can exchange fairly.
And don't forget the store of value as well.
Yeah.
Because if 1 year from now, that coin that we use as a medium of transaction, it's worthless, it's gone, then there's no confidence in terms of that as a monetary item or token or currency.
Throughout the years, human beings been looking for ways to sustain or to contain their economic energy, which they generate every day. So every day I work hard, and then I spend my time, to generate all this economic energy value. Where do I store to? And then how do I spend it?
That's right. So I guess with cryptocurrency, it sort of facilitate an ease of transfer, ease of transaction, because you don't have a middleman that you need to report to as well. There's good and bad in that.
If you compare the key difference between fiat money, or CBDC and cryptocurrency is cryptocurrency is open source system, and then fiat money and also digital currency is a closed system. If something is open source, then we do not need anyone to manage it. Reach a certain stage of like what we call decentralization. I would say crypto is a new tech which related to value storing and value transfer, which is built by the community, for the community, and used by the community. So first, we need to understand what is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an open source money in the internet.
Okay.
Simple as that. And then it is also a decentralized currency built on a layer of blockchain. It's maintained by all the miners across the world. Phase 2 is altcoins. We also call it as a programmable currency. For example, Ethereum, Cardano, VeChain, or Binance. There's more than 5,000 types of altcoins. Altcoins, number 1 is ecosystem. Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Polkadot. All this is considered ecosystem or infrastructure blockchain project. So altcoins type 2 is utility tokens. Utility tokens, probably you can deem it as a vote in the entire governance. It can be a ticket to perform action. It can be a verification of your digital identity. Okay, so the biggest use cases, which is phase 3. The first big use case is DeFi. DeFi is decentralized finance. What DeFi do is similar to the traditional finance. It is an open source ecosystem for you to earn your yield. You can lend your money and get interest. Also, you can borrow money from this open source protocol. So this is probably the biggest use case in the entire crypto space now, because finance is one of the biggest industry. So next is the more interesting one, which is NFT. NFT is called non-fungible token. Each token that you generate, which is represented by a layer of visual, or either it's a music, art, is a character, or a game equipment. So that makes the difference. I generally think that NFT is the property in the crypto industry.
It's assets that you can own and sell and trade.
For example, this one, Sandbox. Each plot of the land, the small one, in 2020, it just cost around 0.1 Ethereum to 0.2 Ethereum. So now it is become around 3 Ethereum per small plot. So that is why I say it will increase the unit of Ethereum. Yeah.
That's right. So it's basically investing in assets that sort of like you have money rather than just leave it in your treasure box at home and yield nothing.
Yeah, but what I explained just now is generic for all the NFT, all type of NFT. But it need to add in one word, which is extremely risky. Because if you choose the wrong one, if you buy in 0.1 Ethereum, maybe it will drop to 0.01 Ethereum.
That's why a lot of people would deem it as gambling, because you never know, you know, it's not something that you can study and you'll be for sure.
We have a different criteria to rate whether this NFT project is good or bad, from the team, from their roadmap, from their entire direction, the art. There's different measurement to measure.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is the example in NFT? Example one is virtual land. This picture is in Sandbox. That plot of land there is our land, which we place our logo there. And what's the use case of the land is once you own a plot of land, you can rent it, you can advertise on it, you can put a picture on it, and then you're able to build on it, build 3D building, build a township, and then you're able to trade NFT in it. You're able to host virtual events, organize virtual concerts. So
basically
that
like the real world, everything done in virtual reality.
Yes. At this stage, this Metaverse project still consider more related to like a game phase. So it still haven't implement to our everyday real life experience. To know there's two types of Metaverse. First type is centralized Metaverse, which is like Facebook, Microsoft, Nvidia, all these, they have their own Metaverse they're building, which is centralized, which means you cannot own anything in it. So all that I mentioned just now, like Sandbox, Decentraland,
they are decentralized Metaverse.
They are decentralized Metaverse, which each item that you own in it is truly owned by you, which is recorded in the blockchain.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, example number 2 is profile picture. Okay, profile picture is avatar. What you're seeing here, CryptoPunk is the most popular profile picture NFT lah, which when it launched is free to claim, and now is more than 50 to 100 Ethereum. And Bored Ape is actually already surpassed CryptoPunk in terms of value.
So these are the celebrities, is it? In the Metaverse?
Yes, blue chip, what we call is blue chip.
See.
Why people like all this is because, like what I mentioned just now, generally the crypto community like memes, and then they would like to be anonymous. So rather than their own real faces, they like to use all these faces as their profile picture identity on the internet. So some, like all these considered blue chip project is already raised to a status that if you own it, is like your social status. So number 3 is blockchain game. So blockchain game is definitely one of the most important milestone in, you know, the use case of NFT. So means in future, the game that you play, that you spend all your time into, is actually help you to generate some income. Yeah. So Web3, which is the phase 4, is a decentralized ecosystem in the internet. It's a very interesting ecosystem which we still looking forward to whether it will succeed or not. Okay, phase 5, which is most of the physical asset or item in the world will be represented by a token. Means, let's say you have a $5 million of house, you are very hard to find a buyer to buy it maybe. So you can tokenize your $5 million property into maybe 100 token, fractionalize and sell to 100 different people. And then they will own the house. Okay, I want to sell 1 out of 100 of this 5 million real estate. If you want to buy it, you just click buy. I probably upload into the NFT marketplace. And then you just click the button buy. And then my token, which represent 1 by 100 of that portion, will directly send to your wallet. And then you own it. That's it. Okay, what is the impact? Is for individual, it will be a learning curve, this new trend, unlearn and relearn something. For company, this technology might disrupt a lot of industry, so you need to prepare. Government is need to catch up. If not, it might be behind the trend curve. Opportunity. For individual, you can choose to be an early adopter to find out more about this space and then be an innovator. As a company, you can discover new business or new service in this industry. You can find a blue ocean market. Government who act fast probably can become a pioneer in a new industry. Yeah. The strategy is individual can reskill and upskill as soon as possible. Government need to identify the right talent and support them by funding, and then give them some media exposure and also maybe partner with them with some project. Last one is future trend in crypto. So I will see there's definitely more corporate adoption in the future because banks started to allow their investor to invest through various ways. Okay, number 2 is mass market adoption, which is, I mentioned, the tokenized economy. It will come in maybe 3 to 5 years. Now the entire crypto market cap is around 2 trillion. So I foresee in the coming few years it will go to 5 trillions in mid to short term. In the long term, it will be more than 10 trillions. So tokenization of physical assets, it depends on how's the innovation and development of the space. It might not become a reality, but we will see. Okay, number 6 is we will see more use case in the traditional commerce. All the innovators and coder programmers is looking to build on the layer of blockchain. So how they want to build it and what they gonna build is depends on their creativity and how innovate they are. Yeah. So this is my personal prediction for the future trend in crypto.
That's right. All right, thank you so much for sharing with us so in depth about cryptocurrency and the future of money. And I think we're going to see more and more of this in due time. I think sooner rather than later at the speed of digital innovation. So thank you so much for sharing with us, and we'll call you back very shortly as well to have a more in-depth discussion with our other speaker on the future of money. All right, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Judy.
All right, welcome back everyone, and we're pleased to have Andrew and Ross with us together to dive in deeper about what the impact is on the future of money. Now, we've covered a lot about cryptocurrency. I believe both of you are avid supporters of cryptocurrency, and you believe that it is a huge proponent of the future of money.
Yep.
Am I right? So what does this mean for people? What does it mean for the large population out there who is watching this right now and they're thinking, what does that mean? The cash in my bank and the cash in my wallet may one day cease to exist? Is that what you're saying? That could be a possibility in the near future?
Yeah, I think it definitely is something we need to consider, especially as countries and governments explore things like CBDCs, right? They want to take physical cash and convert it digitally. I'll give you a simple example. Many years ago, if you want to listen to music, you need to burn a CD. right?
Yeah.
20 songs maximum. Nowadays, if you want to listen to music, where do we go? Spotify. Everything is digital. And as we explore the world of cryptocurrency and blockchain and these developments in the world of finance, I believe it's definitely quite a possibility that one day we won't even have cash anymore. Yeah.
That's right. There are some shops that would rather not have any physicality, so no cash transaction as well,
Exactly.
due to, cleanliness and safety precautions of customers as well. What do you think, Andrew? Do you think we are headed towards a cashless society?
I can see that fully digital, no cash, and cryptocurrency probably will play a small part of it, and depends on the regulation and how open each country and government and the banking system is towards this new technology.
So using cryptocurrency is just a small part of it.
As you can see, the overall population, I think less than 5% people is really active in crypto.
I mean, for now.
Yeah,
for now.
But it's growing tremendously,
Oh, it
right?
is
If you talk
growing.
about 10 years ago, I mean,
Exactly,
now
nobody
it's
was talking about
multifold. Okay, so do you think the future of money involves just cryptocurrency, CBDC as well? Perhaps fiat money, stable coins?
Definitely.
So it's a pool of combination of all of this, you believe?
Definitely, there's evolution of money is going on. One is the centralized new digital money, and the other one is decentralized, which is leading by Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So you give them a choice to choose.
I think to add on to his answer, what we're looking for is real life use case. If cryptocurrency is not useful in real life, people are not going to use it. But I think as more adoption grows, as we see more real life use cases, more impact in the real world, I think more and more people will slowly start coming into the space and using cryptocurrency for daily life.
I guess one of the major issues that people always talk about when it comes to cryptocurrency is security as well. Security, volatility
Yep.
of cryptocurrency.
In terms of volatility, you can simply use stablecoin. Then your money is always pegged 1-to-1 to US dollar, and to avoid the volatility.
Okay. Then how about crypto then? When do we use that? Because it's always volatile.
If I could just add just a little bit to what Andrew is saying, I think so Bitcoin is still in its infancy. I think it's only been around about 14 years or so, right? Give or take. And because it's still a very small market in comparison to the global financial market, think of Bitcoin, the whole market capitalization of Bitcoin, as a small puddle of water. If you step your foot into a small puddle of water, the water splash everywhere. Very volatile. Not a suitable use for a medium of exchange at the moment for most people. As more people come into it, they're pouring liquidity into the market. The swimming pool become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. One day, maybe it will be as big as the ocean. Even if a whale jump into the ocean and it creates a big splash, but people on the boat, they're not affected by it. So I look at it that way. Currently, to build on what Andrew said, most people, especially in Malaysia, treat cryptocurrency as an investment. So we look at it sort of like as a form of digital gold, which is another word for Bitcoin, right?
So it's more for investment purposes rather than the future of money where we see it in day-to-day transactions?
Yeah. According to what he said, I was always like to use this term, which I explained to my friends. The essence of peer-to-peer electronic cash system is built into the protocol already. So I would say that is already not yet status. Means it's already have that capability, but not yet reached to the stage of peer-to-peer cash yet, because each transaction is still quite expensive for Bitcoin. But over the years, coming with the layer 2 solution, I think the transaction fee will become much lower.
Lower, yeah.
Okay. Very good. I mean, that definitely addresses one of the issues. It's also interesting, Andrew, because earlier on your presentation, it seems that you were more in favor of the origins of the objective of cryptocurrency, which is a completely decentralized system. You do without the middleman, and it's peer-to-peer. And the complete governance would be borne by the user itself. So what do you think about this, that banks are coming into play to sort of, inch their way into the crypto world?
That's the origin motive of the whole crypto movement, and to provide alternative for the user. But I believe the people who will be coming to join the crypto space will be more than the people that know the origin motive. So they won't care about decentralization. They won't care about how does it works, Although the whole community actually is originated by a coder, programmer, and also libertarians.
Yeah, they wanted to free us from the shackles of centralization. I don't think people should take either view to the extreme, right? Centralization has its advantages and disadvantages. Same for decentralization. Let's take the best of both worlds, right? The benefits of centralization, for example. I work at a place called LUNO. If you forget your username, your password, we can help reset for you. If you're owning a decentralized wallet, like a hardware wallet, and you forget your seed phrase,
that's it.
It's gone. And it's common. It happens regularly, and people have millions of dollars of worth, right? So again, both sides got their advantages and disadvantages.
That's right.
I look forward to a nice marrying of the advantages of best of both worlds, as they say, as the future of money. Yeah.
That's right. So that's one of the challenges as well. And I think the inequality as well to accessibility of the crypto world due to the inequality in digital access.
Yeah.
Actually, cryptocurrency do cover some part of the population that probably bank could not reach. That kind of people, we call it the unbanked.
Unbanked, exactly.
They are not eligible for the banking system, unfortunately, due to their probably country or sanction. Then they can have an alternative to choose cryptocurrency to store and transfer their value.
Okay, I guess that can be one of the advantages also to serve the underserved, perhaps those who are unbanked. Right. So let's talk about some of the advantages, and what do you think is the main aspect that would make cryptocurrency usable and ideal as the future of money?
One of the things I really like about cryptocurrency, especially when it's used as payment, is its borderless nature. Cryptocurrency doesn't care which country you're in, where your geopolitical position is or whatever in the world. As long as you got internet, I can send it to you, you can send it to me. Yeah.
But, that brings up a question in my mind. If there is nobody regulating, how would you know, since you don't know this person, how would you know whether you received the goods or not?
But I do believe in future they will have a lot of programmers or coders will be innovate to build a crypto marketplace for people to sell things. And then the platform would be managed by a autonomous smart contract system to ensure you get your product. And then act as like an escrow. Once you receive the product, then only they will release the money
to you.
To the to
In
the
fact,
person.
I hear there are e-commerce websites coming out where you can trade, buy, sell items completely in cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And in your experience, what do you think is the fundamental points that make cryptocurrency a possible money of the future? What got you started into it?
We looking for what we call financial sovereignty. Means what we honestly earn, which is belongs to our own hard-earned money, should be allowed to spend any time that we want, any amount that we want, and send to anywhere to whoever we want at any time, without permission, without the approval from a third party. That's probably one of the essence of the cryptocurrency space, because in the first sentence of the Bitcoin white paper is Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash which can transfer to anyone without a financial institution.
Correct.
So that's the definition. That's the fact. And I'm not saying that this should be the way that we should go to, but that's the statement in the first sentence in the white paper.
Yeah. Do you think that in Malaysia we will see in the foreseeable future corporations adopting cryptocurrency in their transactions? Perhaps we can buy a home with cryptocurrency, day-to-day transactions. Are we going to see that?
What do you think, Andrew?
In terms of industry player, I believe it separate to two different parts. One is the corporate. Corporate, definitely they need time to learn more about this space, and then they need to get the approval or the agreement from their board of directors in order to allow the crypto payment for their purchases for the customer.
Yeah.
As for the normal retailers, it actually is up to them. So if they accept crypto payment, they just register a wallet and then put a barcode there for them to scan to pay. That's it. The corporate more adopting the branding awareness through NFT. They would like to build their own NFT collection.
Correct.
Or go into buy a virtual land in Sandbox or Decentraland somewhere to have some brand exposure there. Yes.
And it's a huge community as well.
Yeah, big. The NFT space is growing, because it's something that's a lot easier for people to jump into, right?
Yeah.
It makes companies, I think, look cool and hipster, like, wow, this company is in the metaverse, or this company is embracing this world of NFTs and crypto. And, I definitely will see more companies exploring those routes, right? How can they relate to their customers better?
Any last words out there, perhaps, for people who are sort of still skeptical or unsure? Where should I start? What is NFT? And just when they are going to learn about NFT, something new comes up.
If you're still unsure, I would advise you to just dip your toes in the water. Remember, like I said, it's like a swimming pool that's growing bigger and bigger every day. If you don't want to jump in, you don't want to dive in, you're a bit scared, it's okay, don't have to dive in. Just dip your toes in the water. I always tell people, who say, Bitcoin is so expensive, how to buy? I said, okay, do you have 100 ringgit? No, I don't have. Do you have 10 ringgit? No, I don't have. Are you willing to spend just 1 ringgit? And they're like, 1 ringgit? I'm like, yeah, on LUNO, you can buy Bitcoin for as low as 1 ringgit. Dip your toes in the water. You have a bit of skin in the game, as they say. That's when slowly your worldview starts changing.
How about you? Any last words? Any parting advice from your expert knowledge as an avid crypto investor, an NFT collector as well?
I can say that Malaysia as a country is doing pretty well, as they are on the neutral ground, that they're not banning it, but they allow people to freely invest in it. So in this, I think Malaysia as a country is doing pretty well. So as for the individual, I would say that in the coming 10 to 20 years, the money will become fully digital, most probably. And you need to ready for that, including the tokenized economy that I mentioned just now. Knowledge in the crypto space will become a necessity to know in the future. And for businesses, if you explore more, you might able to build innovative business in it and open an entire new blue ocean market.
That's right. Well, very sound advice from both of you. Thank you so much, both
pleasure.
Ross and Andrew as well, for sharing with us your passion and expertise in terms of digital currency, cryptocurrency. And I think the audiences have gained a lot in terms of preparing themselves and having a glimpse of the future of money, which is coming, I believe, sooner rather than later. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
And we'll see more and more of cryptocurrency, I believe, being accepted in a more widespread manner. And I truly hope that you've enjoyed yourself. Stay tuned as we look forward to see you at our next episode. Stay safe.